Hello and welcome back to aRDists Podcast. I don't know what I want to do for this episode. Okay. So I mentioned in the last episode that I didn't go to art school. I've just kind of taken classes here and there. So in college, I took a few like painting classes and a design class. And more recently, I purchased an online course for like design fundamentals. And it kind of walks through like the basic fundamental aspects of design. And I haven't gone through the entire course yet. I'm kind of working through it at my own pace. One of the hardest things about buying an online course is actually like finishing it all the way through. But I have these page-a-day calendars that my friend Sam, shout out to Sam, my friend Sam gave me the last few years. And I kept some of the ones that I like the saying on, or I like the illustrations or whatnot. But I feel like I don't necessarily want to throw out all the rest of them. So one of the things that I did in the 2D design class that I took at university was we did like collage. And so we cut out like blocks of color from magazines or letters or figures or, you know, whatever objects were in the magazine and used it to collage together something. So I thought these would be a good resource to use. So rather than painting a color, collage is cutting out pieces of paper and, you know, in the shape that you want rather than painting the shape, if that makes sense. I thought I would use these to practice my basic fundamental elements of design. So, and the online course that I'm taking, it has a lot of like different methods of practice. So it starts out with, you know, part of it is searching through Pinterest and identifying examples of different layouts and design elements and that sort of thing, sketching the designs, and, you know, practicing like hierarchy and color, contrast, white space. But I you know, I appreciate like the sketching elements of it, but I feel like something like collage and really getting my hands in more in on the practice will give me a deeper understanding of basic design elements. And it's always a good, you know, for myself, for having not gone to formal education in design, it's helpful to take the time to learn the fundamentals, because I know that in the past I've just jumped right into designing without fully understanding the, you know, fundamental parts of design. And I say that I need to, it's I want to learn. And so that is sometimes the biggest part of learning something, is having the interest and desire to learn. I think that's why a lot of teenagers get angsty about school and like, why do I need to learn this? And it's like, if you don't have that curiosity to learn that subject, it's going to be a struggle for sure. So I have an interest in learning design, so I am eager to practice it. Okay, so the first exercise is focused on hierarchy. So I think what I'm going to do is draw out. So now I have kind of general dimensions that I'm going to try to work within. So basically what I'm going to do is try to do something like this, like this, like this, and like this. So if you've never if you've never done collage before, you're basically just cutting out pieces of paper and creating shapes from those pieces of paper, and then, you know, adhering them to whatever it is you're adhering them to. So I'm probably going to glue these down. I'm not going to be super picky about it because these are just like basic sketchy little doodads. They're not anything fancy. It's not anything elaborate or finished. It's just kind of an exercise in practicing design. The glue that I prefer to use for collage is a glue that was recommended by a student who graduated from the university that I went to. She did like a collage lesson, like she came in as like a guest instructor. So it's this pH neutral PVA. I don't remember, I may have gotten it at Blick, but it's Books by Hand, so it's like a book binding glue, I want to say. Yeah, so it's book binding and paper projects, so this works pretty well. And then I like to use the curved blade X-Acto knife. So what I was taught how to do by that student instructor or graduate instructor was diluting the glue just a little bit with water, so that way it paints on and glides on a little bit easier. So I'm just putting a couple drops in there, and then I'm going to use one of my crappy paintbrushes that I don't care about, though this one is pretty floppy. I think I prefer like a stiffer paintbrush, and I may have done a little bit too much water, but that's okay. It'll dry out. So I'm just going to paint it onto the back of the paper, use my blade to pick it up, and my fingers, and then place it where I want it. So that is the first one. It's just going by hierarchy. So for this, it's, you know, a bigger size on top that kind of brings your eye in. And then, you know, the smaller elements, so like the bottom one maybe would capture your eye more, or the one that's split in two will maybe kind of capture your eye more. I don't know why I'm instructing as though I know what I'm doing. So yeah, so this example is just demonstrating hierarchy. So the colors are all the same, but the sizes vary. So like the biggest one is going to obviously draw your attention more. And then I guess I'll do one more. Okay, so this one's kind of fun. So this one is, the next one is covering balance. So you can have either symmetrical balance. So like, for example, on this first one, there's some balance with these two. But as the design as a whole, I'm talking about, let's see, one of her examples I'll go with. So we have symmetrical would be, you know, something like this, where it's two identical, forgive my crooked shapes, but identical shapes, symmetrical balance. And then, whoops, an asymmetrical option would be, you know, something like that, where it's not the same on both sides, hence the name asymmetrical. All right, so for the next one, let's do this blue color. Let's just do two that are this size. Collage is one of those things where I always thought it was kind of lame. And then I had to do it as a few different projects, and I kind of like it. I don't know what it is I enjoy about it. It is kind of tedious cutting out little pieces of paper and gluing them, and it can be very frustrating if you don't like the stickiness of the glue and picking up little pieces of paper and having them fly all over the place, and like working with all these little small bits. You can obviously do collage at a larger scale as well, but I like tedious fingertippy type projects. So I don't mind it, but you might, you know, depending on what your style is and what you enjoy, you might find it frustrating to work with. And I can imagine it can be a frustrating medium for a lot of people. But if you're willing to give it a shot, I say go for it. Yeah. So the thing with the balance is not only having it be for the asymmetrical one, and I don't know why I'm saying this like I'm trying to explain it. I'm trying to understand it myself. So like asymmetrical balance, it's not just a matter of having two different things. It's about having comparable size or similar, you know, you don't want it to feel too weighted to one side or the other. I don't know. Again, I didn't go to design school. Oops. No. It's also a little challenging doing this sort of stuff with the microphone in front of my face because I can't fully see what I'm doing. See, this is the part that would get annoying because sometimes I laugh just to myself, and so I blow things all around. All right, I need you to not stick to me. Collage is fun. So those are examples of balance. So we've got symmetrical balance and asymmetrical balance. So hopefully I did those assignments justice. And I kind of wanted to, I don't know, I might do some more of these and fill out the page. I just wanted to kind of share this technique that I learned. And if you're interested in taking the same online course as me, I'll put a link to it down below so that way you can check it out. I am not an affiliate, so I don't earn from sharing it. It's just, I've enjoyed it, so maybe you will. So yeah, let me know if you've tried collage before or if you're going to try it now. And if you do try it out after watching this, tag me on Instagram. I'd love to see it. And yeah, I'll see you next time. Don't forget to like and subscribe on whatever platform you're listening to to this on or watching it on YouTube. And with that, I will see you next time. Bye!